Yo, what's up, pals? How y'all doing? Today we're studying Daf Samach Aleph of Masechta Berachos. We're getting very close to the end. 3 more pages left in the entire Masechta. Today there's some cool stuff that we're going to talk about. We're going to spend some time towards the beginning talking about all sorts of stuff about the creation of Adam HaRishon. We are going to talk about the famous to some people, Gemara of Amar Rabba Kigon Anu Beinonim, right? From the first page of Tanya, which is pretty cool. And we're also going to talk about the story of Rabbi Akiva, how he became one of the 10 martyrs. So, a lot of interesting stuff today. Let's get started. Very top of the page, on Daf Samach Aleph Amud Aleph. V'amar Rav Huna Amar Rav, Zok the Halakha Rav Huna Amar Rav, Mishmei Rabbi Meir, in the name of Rabbi Meir, L'olam Yud Dvar Shel Adam Mu'atin, L'fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A person's words should always be very few in front of the Eibishter. I wonder what Breslovers would say about this Gemara with when it comes to Isbodidus. Shneimar, as the Pasuk says, Al taval al picha v'libcha al yamar l'hotzi davar l'fnei Elokim ki Elokim b'shamayim v'ata la'aretz al ken yud v'recha mi'atim. So do not be too hasty with your mouth, and your heart should not be too quick to say something before God, because God is in the heavens and you're on the earth, right? It's almost like the vision of like a rat in one of those, a mouse in one of those like mazes, right? That the Eibishter is above and you're below. The Masudas David explained it sort of almost like a sort of when you have a weaker person on top, higher up on higher ground, and a stronger person below. The weaker person is still at the advantage, and Kal V'chomer when you have the Eibishter in the higher ground. Therefore your words should be few, but maybe that's specifically like, sort of, you should think twice before sort of being, what do we say? Like Devarim Klape Maila, right? We talked about stuff like that and how people got excommunicated for that, things like that. Okay, anyways, maybe it's talking about sort of more belligerent things. Darsh Rav Nachman by Rav Chizda. Darshan Rav Nachman by Rav Chizda, Mai Dichsiv, what is that which is written? Vayitzer Hashem Elokim es Adam b'shnei Yudin. Right? The pasuk says that God created man, and it says Vayitzer, and the letter Yud appears twice. It's Vav Yud Yud Tzadi Reish. Why are there 2 Yuds in Vayitzer? So the Gemara says because Shnei Yitzarim bara Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Eibishter created 2 inclinations, 2 Yitzers in a person. Echad Yetzer Tov, Echad Yetzer Ra. One of them is a good inclination, the other one is a bad inclination. Maskefla Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak asked a kasha, Elameata behema deloksiv ba vayitzer leis leyitzara. But what about animals? By animals, it doesn't say vayitzer with 2 yuds, it says vayitzer with 1 yud. Does that mean that they don't have a yetzer hara? V'alka chazinan demazka v'nashcha uvata. But we see that animals damage, and they bite, and they kick, so they must have some kind of negative inclination, Darton. Ella, Kidu Reb Shimon ben Pazi. Rather, no, so how do you explain Pshat? What's with the 2 yuds? It's like Reb Shimon ben Pazi. Dam Reb Shimon ben Pazi, Oyli miyotzri ve'oyli miyitzri. Right? Woe is to me from my Creator. So that happens if a person sins, unfortunately. So he says, woe is to me from my Creator that my Yetzer Hara caused me to sin. Oyli miyitzri, and even if my Yetzer Hara didn't cause me to sin, still I have to be fighting against my Yetzer Hara all the time. I guess that there's a lot of Yetzer Hara stuff on this page. Yeah, there is. Anyways, so that's how you understand the 2 yuds, right? Oili mi yotzri, oili mi yitzri. Inami, or else I can give you another pshat Darton. Kid Rabbi Yirmiyah ben Elazar, Dam Rabbi Yirmiyah ben Elazar, du partzufin, bara HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Adam HaRishon, that the Eibishter created 2 faces in Adam HaRishon, right? It says Vayitzer, there are 2 yuds, because representing the 2 faces that God created with Adam HaRishon, that basically Adam HaRishon was this kind of interesting creation that the front of him was, let's say, male, and the back of him was female. Or, I don't know if there was a front or back, there were just 2 sides. One was male, one was female. Shenemar, as the Pasuk says, Achor v'kedem tzartani, you have created me backwards and forwards. So like one side of this creation was Adam, and the other side was Chava. Exciting stuff. Vayivan Hashem es atzela, Hashem Elokim es atzela. So the Eibishter built the bone, right? The pasuk describes over there in Berachos that God did a shtickle surgery on Adam Arishon. He removed a bone and built that into Chava. The Gemara Nida learns out from this pasuk of, I believe, if I remember correctly, Vayivan Hashem Elokim Esatzela, right? And he built that into Chava. So it says, Bina Yisera Yesh Be'isha Yosem Ba'ish, that women have more understanding than men. I believe that's correct. I believe that is the Gemara over there. Vayivan Hashem Esatzela, so Rav Shmuel, there is machlokas between Rav and Shmuel, Chad Omer Partzuf v'Chad Omer Zonov. One of them says that he built sort of one of these faces into Chava. The other one says that apparently Adam Rishon had a tail. The Eibishter removed the tail from Adam Rishon, and that is what he built up into Chava. Bishlam al-Madamar Partzuf, I understand according to Madamar, who said that it is one of these images, one of these faces that the Eibishter built into Chava. I can understand that pasuk that says that you have created me back and front, right? Because there were two partzufin, one in the back, one in the front. But if you say that the Eibishter built a tail into Chava, so then how do you define this pasuk of Achor v'kedem tzartani? So Rabbi Ami, you understand it like Rabbi Ami understands the pasuk. The Amar Rabbi Ami, Achor l'maisa Berachos v'kedem l'puranus, that man was created at the end of Maisa Berachos and at the beginning for punishment. We're going to explain what this means. Bishlama Achor l'maisa Berachos tilo ibrei ad ma'ale Shabbata. Okay, I understand what it means that he was created at the end of Maisa Berachos, because l'maisa was created on Friday, right before Shabbos, which, God was busy creating things all week, and he only got around to man at the end over there. Ela v'kedem l'puranus demai. When you say that man is the first to get punished, in what context? If you're going to tell me that the punishment of the snake, right? That when the snake caused Adam and Chava to eat from the Eitz Hadas, so man was punished first over there. But that's not true. Ve'atanya, we learn in the Brisa, Rebbe Omer, Zak Tehelik Rebbe, Bigdula maschilim min agadol, v'klala maschilim min akain. When it comes to greatness, we start from the greatest person, and when it comes to cursing, we start from the smallest, most insignificant person. Bigdula maschilim min agadol. How do we know that when it comes to greatness, we start from the greatest person? Dichsiv vaydaber Moshe el Aharon ve'el Elazar ve'el Isamar banav anosarim k'chu v'gomer. That it says that Moshe spoke to first Aharon, and then to Elazar and Isamar, his children. So we see that he started with Aharon first. And I think that may have been when it was talking about doing the avoda in the Beis Hamikdash. So Bigdula, we started with the greatest, with Aharon. And then Biklala, when it comes to curses, Maschilim and Akain, we start from the smallest one. How do we know that? Batchila niskal Nachash ulvasof niskal Chava ulvasof niskal Adam. And when it comes to curses, we start with the Kain. How do we know? We know because when it came to the sin of the Eitz Hadas, so first the Nachash was created, what was cursed, and then only afterwards Chava and then Adam. So we see that when it came to the sin of the Eitz Hadas, man was not the first to be punished. It was the snake that was the first to be punished. So what is Vakedem the Puranus, that is the first for punishment? The Puranus the Mabul. In the context of the Mabul, Adam was the first, man was the first to be destroyed, punished. As it says, that the waters destroyed everything that was on the land. From man until animal, it began with man, and then it went on to the animals. Okay, so fine. So again, we're still, we had these. It says that the Eibishter built up this bone into Adam, and we're trying to understand: was it the tail? No, into Chava. Was it the tail that he built up, or was it the faces that he built up? So I understand if you said that it was that there were two faces, and he built one of the faces into Chava. That's why it says Vayitzer with two yuds, right, for the two partzufin. But if you say that it was a tail that the Eibishter built into Chava, well, then what's Vayitzer if there weren't two partzufin? So you could just take one of those other two examples. Well, not just the other two, but the other example, which is from Shimon ben Pazi, which is that the two yuds represent Oili mi Yotzri v'Oili mi Yitzri. Bishlam l'man damar partzuf. I understand according to Man Damar, who says that the Eibishter built one of the faces into Chava. Hani d'chsiv Zachar nekeva bira'am. That the Eibishter created, male and female together. Elamat, right? That the Eibishter created male and female, i.e., they were together it was one creation with two faces. Elamat damar zanav my Zachar nekeva bira'am. But if you say that the Eibishter built a tail into Chava, well then he only created man alone, singularly, so what does it mean that he created them male and female? So could Rabbi Abau, it's like Rabbi Abau, Rabbi Abau Rami. Rabbi Abau asked the Kasha, on the one hand it says that the Eibishter created them man and woman together, and it also says that in the image of God created man individually, right? I mean, it says Bara'am, which is plural, but then it also says Bara'as Adam, which Rashi points out, indicates individually. So what's pshat? On the one hand, it says that created, male and female together. On the other hand, it seems to say that it was only individually. That initially God thought, hey, maybe this would be a cool idea to build them both into one, but in the end he didn't go with that mahalach, and he just built a man with a tail, and he used the tail to build Chava. Very nice. Okay, very good. B'shlam al-man da'amar partzuf. I understand according to Man Damar, who says that the Eibishter built a partzuf into Chava. That this is what it means, that the Eibishter then had to close up the wound, because he separated a whole body from Adam Arishon. But if you say that he just took off the tail, so what does it mean that he had to close up the flesh? Well, meaning, even if it was just a tail, so it was sort of a much more minor operation than if he literally had to hack off half of his body. But at the same time, there was still an incision that had to be closed, where the tail was. So now the Gemara is flipping around and saying, I understand according to Man Damar, who says that it was a tail that the Eibishter built into Chava. That's why it says that the Eibishter had to build it up, right? He started with a very small thing, and he had to mamish build it into a human being. Parts of my vayiven, but according to Man Damar, who says that it was a parts of, there wasn't really that much that had to be built, right? But Eibishter just basically hacked Adam Rishon in half lengthwise, and he had one half was Adam, one half was Chava. Ben Menasya, the Darsh of Shimon ben Menasya, what does it mean that the Eibishter built the Tzela? Melamed shekila'a HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'Chava ve'avia la'Adam Arishon shekem b'kar chayam koren l'kal Isa bin Banyasa. So what it means, Vayiven es Hatzela, it means that he wove the bone into Chava, right? Because in the cities of the sea, they call weaving Banyasa. So it says Vayiven, it means that he wove. So it doesn't mean that he actually built up, this smaller thing into a human being, right? Which would imply that it was the tail that he built up. But rather, it means that, no, it doesn't mean building. It means that the Eibishter kind of hacked Adam Rishon in half, and then he took the half that was for Chava and kind of wove her up, and that was Chava. A woven Chala. Not Chala, a woven Chava. Okay? Maybe that was the inspiration for Chala. Maybe that is the inspiration for braiding Chala, because Chava was braided on Erev Shabbos. I wonder if that's a thing somewhere in the depths of Kabbalah. Or maybe not even in the depths. I feel like maybe that's a thing, but maybe it isn't. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Davar acher, Vayiven. So another explanation, what does it mean Vayiven? Amar Rav Chizda, V'amelav Masnisatan, Lamet Shebina HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Chava Kibinyan Otzar. It teaches that the Eibishter built Chava like you build a kind of place that's meant to hold grain. Just like a storage facility for grain. So you build it in such a way that it's thinner on the top and then gets wider as it goes down, so that it can store all of the fruits that it needs to store. Also, women are their body is shaped in a way that they are thinner on the top and then wider where they have to hold a fetus. And then the Eibishter brought Chava to Adam. So we see that the Eibishter became very involved in making sure that Adam Arishon found his wife and found somebody to marry. The Torah is teaching us Derech Eretz. That even a great person should try to help out even somebody who isn't such a great person to help them get married, like the Eibishter helped Adam Rishon. Okay. Okay, so as I'm sure everyone was wondering, so if there was like this interesting kind of body that was half Adam and half Chava, so how did they like walk? Like who was first? Was Adam Rishon in the front? Was Chava in the front? How did they walk in this combination body? So Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak Mistava de Gavra Sagi Bereisha. So it makes sense that the male, that Adam would be the one to walk frontwards. Because it says that a man should not walk behind a woman on the way. So if Chava was walking in front, then that means that Adam would necessarily be walking behind her, and that wouldn't be very nice. Even if this woman is his husband. If you're walking on a bridge and there's a woman there, Yisalkena, that's studin, you should kind of move over so that she is on your side, not in front of you. Okay, and anybody who walks or passes behind a woman in a river, if she has to lift up her clothing in order to cross the river, and somebody wants to take a look, so then he doesn't have a portion in the world to come. But what if he was somech gula tefillah? So like, what do you do? If you somech gula tefillah, then he has a portion into the world to come, but then like, he walks behind a woman in a river. Maybe then if you somech gula tefillah, after that maybe he gets it back? I don't know. Taner Rabbanan. Hamratzamos liisha miyada liyada. Somebody who is counting money to a woman from his hand to her hand. Kidei l'stakel ba. But his real intention is that he just wants to look at her. So afilu yesh biyad Torah ma'asim tovim k'Moshe Rabbeinu. Even if he had as much Torah and good deeds as Moshe Rabbeinu, lo yinaka medina shel Gehenim, he will still not be cleared from the judgment of hell. Shenemar, the Apostle says, Yad liyad, lo yinake ra, lo yinaka medina shel Gehenim. That yad liyad, hand to hand, ki'ilu, if he's counting money from his hand to her hand, he will not be saved from the judgment of hell. Amar Rav Nachman, Zokt Rav Nachman, Manoach Ha'aretz Haya. Rav Nachman says that Manoach, the father of Shimshon HaGibor, of Samson, was in Am Ha'aretz, and Rashi defines Am Ha'aretz as we defined it, as Acherim defined it on Mem Zayin Amud Beis, which is Lo Shemish Talmidei Chachamim. He clearly didn't learn enough Torah, right? Tichsiv, as the Apostle says, Vayelech Manoach Achrei Ishto, that Manoach walked out behind his wife, which means that clearly he did not learn this Mishnah, this Brisa, that a man shouldn't walk behind a woman, so he was clearly in Am Ha'aretz. Maskefler Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak asked a question of Rav Nachman. El Me'ata Gabi Elkanah, by Chana's husband Elkanah. Tichsiv Vayelech Elkanah Achrei Ishto, that Elkanah walked behind his wife. V'Gabi Elisha, and what about by the prophet Elisha? Tichsiv Vayakum Vayelech Achareya, that he walked after the Isha Shunamis. Hachinami Achareya Mamish. Do you also define that as literally behind their wife, which means that they were Amei Aratzim as well? You're calling Elisha the prophet in Am Ha'aretz? No, it means that they walked after their words and after their advice. Kilu, didn't literally walk behind them. They just followed their advice. So Hachanami, you're also Acharei Devarei v'Acharei Atzasa. So you're also by Manoach, he walked after the sort of advice and words of his wife, who came to tell him that she saw a prophet. So Amar Rav Ashi Ulmai Dekamar Rav Nachman Manoach Ha'aretz Haya, and Rav Ashi says that, and according to Rav Nachman, who says that Manoach was actually in Am Ha'aretz, well, Afilu Beirav Nami Lokar, he didn't even learn Chumash. He didn't even learn that which they learn in that they teach the little kids by the Cheder. And we actually had this also on Daf Hey Amud Aleph. We had we had a reference to this Beirav thing, also in a reference to a pasuk in Shmos also, right? That in the context of Yisurin. And then Rabbi Yochanan said, "Afilu tinoko shabes rabban yodeno." So this even tinoko shabes rabban no, because it's a pasuk in Chumash. Basically, the assumption being that Chumash is what they learn in these cheters, and therefore, if you miss a pasuk in Chumash, it means you didn't even learn that which they know in cheder. Shenema v'takom Rivka v'nai Roseh v'tekavna al gmalim. That Rivka and her, people that were with her, rode on camels. V'tilachna acharei ish. They walked behind Eliezer v'lo lifnei ish. They didn't walk in front of Eliezer because he knew not to walk behind a woman, and therefore, so according to the opinion of Rav Nachman, that Manoach was an Amma Aretz, and he didn't know not to walk behind his wife, so he didn't even learn that which they learn, that which they teach little kids in Cheder. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Zakt Rabbi Yochanan, Achore Ari v'lo Achore Isha. Better to walk behind a lion than it is to walk behind a woman. Achore Isha v'lo Achore Avodah Zarah. Better to walk behind a woman, however, than to walk behind Avodah Zarah. Achore Avodah Zarah. It's better to walk behind Avodah Zarah than to walk behind a Beis HaKnesses, a synagogue, when the congregation is praying. Because if you walk, as we learned also in the first parak, that if you walk, I think it was the first parak, that if you walk behind a synagogue at the time that the congregation is praying, so then, and you don't go in, it shows that you are being porek ol, that you're not interested in God. And therefore that's even worse than Avodah Zarah. But this is only if he's not carrying anything. But if he's carrying something, then he's just not going in because he's carrying something heavy. Not because he doesn't care about God. And that's only if there isn't another entrance to the shul. If there's another entrance to the shul, then you can just assume that he's going in the other entrance. And that's also if he's not riding a donkey. If he's riding a donkey, then it's okay. I guess he doesn't have to get off his donkey. I guess he just happens to be passing by, but he's not specifically trying to be porek ol. It's also only if he's not wearing tefillin. If he's wearing tefillin, then clearly he cares about the Eibishter. He's doing a mitzvah. He's wearing tefillin. Amar Rav, Zakt Rav. Yetzer hara doma lezvuv v'yoshev ben shnei miftachei alev. The Yetzer hara is similar to a fly, and it sits between the two sides of your heart. Shneimar, the pasuk says, "Zvuvei maves yavish yabiyah shemen rokeach." That dead flies will even ruin very fragrant oil. I don't know what the reference to sort of the sides of the heart is there. I do see the reference to flies. But anyways, Rav says that the Yetzer hara is like a fly and it sits between the two sides of your heart. Ushmuel Amar, Zakt Shmuel, Kimin Chitahu Dome, the Yetzer hara is similar to a kernel of wheat. Shenamar Lefesach Chatas Rovetz, in reference to the Yetzer hara, says that that by the entrance, the Chatat is crouched and Chatat is like Chita. Taner Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Shtei Klayos Yesh Bo Ba'adam. A person has two kidneys. Interesting. Achas Yu'atzaso the Tova, v'achas yu'atzaso l'ra. So one of them gives him good advice, one of them gives him bad advice. U'mistabra the Tova li'yimino v'ra l'smolo. And it makes sense that the good one is his right kidney and the bad one is his left kidney. D'chsev lev chacham li'yimino v'lev ksil l'smolo. That the heart of a chacham is to his right and the heart of a fool is to his left. So I guess that the right is associated with chacham, with good, left is associated with bad. And I wonder if this creates sort of a moral dilemma. If you're going to donate a kidney, which kidney do you donate, right? Do you donate, if you donate your right kidney, well then you're only going to be stuck with your bad one. If you donate the left one, well you want to give somebody else your bad one, that's not very nice. But at the same time, maybe you could say, Lemaisa, that it depends on how they install it in the other person. That maybe you could request that maybe you can give your left kidney and then you'll just be stuck with the right one, which is going to give you good advice, which might be very nice. Then maybe request that they install the left kidney that you're donating on the person's right side, and then it becomes his right kidney, and then everyone wins. Taner Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Kleus Yoatzos, the kidneys give advice, Lev Maven, the heart understands, Lashon Mechatech, the tongue enunciates words, Peh Gomer, the lips then sort of shape the words, I guess. Veshet machnis komine meichel. The esophagus intakes all sorts of foods. Kone motzikol. The trachea releases voice. Rea shoeves komine mashkin. The lungs attract all sorts of liquids. Kaved koes, the liver gets angry. Mar zarekas botipo manichaso. However, the bile goes over there into the liver and kind of chills it out. Tchol sochek, laughter and joking around comes from the spleen. Karkavan tochen, the gizzard in like animals and stuff grinds stuff up. Keva yeshena, the stomach is responsible for sleeping. Af neor, the nose is responsible for waking up. Neir hayashin yashin aneir nimok v'holechlo. However, if the neor, if the nose, which normally wakes you up, ends up being responsible for you going to sleep, and if the stomach, which normally is responsible for you going to sleep, is responsible for you waking up, well then you're deteriorating and you're going to die. Tana im shneim yishenim o shneim neorim miyadmes. But if both the nose and the stomach are waking you up, or both the nose and the stomach are putting you to sleep, well, you're basically going to die immediately. Tani Rabbi Yossi Aglili Omer, Zak the Heliker Rabbi Yossi Aglili, Tzadikim Yetzitov Shoftan. For righteous people, their good inclination rules them. Shnei Amar, as the pasuk says, V'libi chalal b'kirbi. That reference to the Yetzer Hara is basically like dead inside of me. David HaMelech is saying that he only has a Yetzer Tov. Rishai Yetzer Ra Shoftan. In evil people, their evil inclination rules over them. Now, you have to read this pasuk a little bit. It doesn't read really just straight from the beginning to the end. You have to read it a little fancy. So, Shnei Amar, as the pasuk says, Ne'um pesha l'rasha b'kerev libi. So David HaMelech is saying that within my heart, the way I see it, so a rasha says to, sin says to an evil person, Ein pachad elokim meneched einav, that there's you don't have to fear, nobody fears God, you don't have to fear God either, you can just sin, it's no big deal. Beinonim zeh v'zeh shoftam. In Beinonis, so both the Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara kind of share rulership. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Yamod limin evyon loshia mishoftei nafsho, that the Eibishter stands to the right of a poor person to save him from those who are judging his soul. And I guess that shoftei nafsho is plural, meaning there's the Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara. Amar Rabba, the famous line to anybody who's ever learned the first page of Tanya of Chabad, Amar Rabba kigon anu beinonim. Rabba says we are beinonim, that we have both the Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara. Amar le Abaye lo shavak machai l'chol birya. Abaye says, well, if Rabba was Abaye's Rebbe, says Rabba, if you are a beinoni, then it's impossible to be a tzaddik. Oh, so beautiful to learn that inside in the Gemara, right? Famous line. The entire Sefer of Likutei Amarim, the entire first book of Tanya, that most people refer to as Tanya, is basically trying to understand this Gemara. What does it mean that Rabbah says that he's a Benoni? What is a Benoni? What's a tzaddik? What does this mean for us? Wow. Also, we're going to explain what this means. Rava says that the world was only created for complete tzaddikim or complete rishayim. We're going to explain what this means. Rava says a person should know if he is a complete tzaddik or not. So Rav, you could say that it's sort of, this can be used to explain what Rava said, which is that the world was created only for Achav ben Omri, who was a rasha, and for Chanina ben Dosa, of course, who was a big tzaddik. La'achav ben Omri ha'olam hazeh, u'le'Chanina ben Dosa ha'olam haba. For Achav ben Omri, who was a big rasha, who was a rasha gamor, so this world was created for him. I.e., he's going to get all of his reward in this world and nothing in the next world. Whereas for a tzaddik like Chanina ben Dosa, who, as we learned on Daf Yud Zayin Amud Beis, that the whole world is sustained by Chanina ben Dosa, and yet Chanina ben Dosa subsists, I think, on just some carobs from Erev Shabbos to Erev Shabbos. So for him, Olam Hazeh he doesn't really get much from Olam Hazeh, but Olam Haba is his jam. And then, of course, there was that awesome poem that Yishai put into our WhatsApp group way at the beginning of the WhatsApp group, and that was really awesome. Yishai, if you have more of that, we'd love to see it. Okay, let's go weiter, friends. You shall love the Eibishter, your God. Tanya, Rabbi Eliezer Omer, we learned in a Brisa, Rabbi Eliezer says, if the pasuk already says that you should serve God with all of your soul, so then, or with all of your body, then why does it say you have to serve God with all of your money? Like, just choose, right? Or and if it says that you serve God with all of your money, then why does it say serve God with all of your body? Ki'ilu, just choose the one that is more chaviv, the one that's more significant, and say serve God with all of that, and then memela, it means serve God with the other things. So ella, well, because it's not objective which one is more chaviv, your body or your money. There are some people that their body is more significant, is more chaviv, important to them than their money. So therefore it says b'chol nafshecha, that serve God with all of your body, because for him to serve with all of his money is easier. But if you have a person whose money is more significant to him than his body, well, therefore it says serve God, with all of your money, because that is more difficult for him. So serve God with whichever thing is more significant for you. That's what you should serve God with. Rabbi Kiva says that you got to serve God with all of your nefesh, even if it means that you have to give up your life for the Eibishter. Now, Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, one time, the evil government, the evil rulership decreed that the Yidden are not allowed to learn Torah. That's a pretty big deal. I assume that this evil kingship is the Romans. But Papus ben Yehuda Rabbi Akiva Sheimakal Kilos Barabim. Papus ben Yehuda found that Rabbi Akiva was ignoring this decree, and he was gathering together crowds in public to study Torah. V'osek b'Torah. Amalu Akiva Yata Misarim Pnei Malchus Orsha. So Papus ben Yehuda is like, wow, Rabbi Akiva, aren't you scared of the Romans? I mean, they said that you're not allowed to do this, and you're completely disregarding their decree. So Rabbi Akiva said, Papus ben Yehuda, let me give you a mashal, a parable to what this is similar to. It's similar to a fox who was walking on the side of a river. And he saw that there were fish, and the fish kept on moving from place to place. So the fox said to them, he said to the fish, fish, why are you running away? They said to him, they said, look, we're running away from the nets that the people throw into the water to try and catch us and eat us. So the fox said, I have a good idea. So the fox says to them, why don't you just come join me, get out of the water, come and join me on dry land, and we'll just live together. You won't have to worry about the nets, and we can live together in peace like our ancestors did. So Amrullah, the fish, said to him, seriously, Mr. Fox? You're the one who everyone says you are the smartest of all the animals? Lo pikeach ata, elatipe shata. You're not smart, you're stupid. If in the place where our life is dependent upon it, we are nonetheless scared, i.e. in the water, if we go to a place where we'll have no chance of life and our place of death, i.e. if we get out of the water and go into dry land, then certainly we have no chance for survival. So Af Anachnu, Rabbi Akiva now gives the Nimshal, us as well. Achshav Shani Yoshvim V'oskim B'Torah. Af Anachnu Achshav Shani Yoshvim V'oskim B'Torah Shekasuv Ba Ki Chayecha V'Arich Yamecha Kach. If we, who even now, when we are studying Torah, that in the Torah it says that it is your life and what will lengthen your days, and yet we still have these challenges coming from the Romans. If we simply stop learning Torah, that is our life and will lengthen our days, then certainly we have no chance. So I may as well, keep on studying Torah while, trying my best to avoid being caught, or at least hoping that I won't be caught. Amru, they said, Lo hayam mu'atim ad shetfasu Rabbi Akiva v'chavshu b'veis hasurim. They say that very shortly after that, the Romans arrested him and threw him in jail. And interestingly, v'tafsu lefapus ben Yehuda v'chavshu etzla. And for whatever reason, Papus ben Yehuda also got arrested, and they put him in the same cell as Rabbi Akiva. Amru Papus mi'aviacha lechan. So Amru Papus mi'aviacha Papus mi'aviacha lechan. So Rabbi Akiva said to Papus, what's proud? What are you doing here? Amru Papus said to him, Ashrecha Rabbi Akiva. Fortunate are you, Rabbi Akiva, shenitfasta al divrei Torah, that at least you got arrested for doing something productive, for studying Torah. Woe is the Papus who's sitting here in the same jail cell as you, but who got arrested for doing silly stuff. At the time that they brought out Rabbi Akiva to execute him, it was the time to say Kriyas Shema. And the Romans decided that the way that they were going to execute Rabbi Akiva is that they would take iron combs and comb off his flesh. And yet Rabbi Akiva was saying Kriyas Shema. He was being makabel on Malchus Shemaim. Amulo Talmidav Rabbeinu Ad Kan. Students had mercy on Rabbi Akiva. They said, "No, enough." I don't necessarily totally understand this answer, but I definitely understand why this was clearly a very intense and emotional situation. They were, and basically they were somehow reacting to the fact that Rabbi Akiva, even while the Romans were combing his flesh with iron combs, he was still being makabel alav omachul shemaim. He said to them, Kol yomai ayisi mitztar al pasuk zeh. My entire life I was troubled by this pasuk of b'chol nafshecha. Right, al pasuk zeh b'chol nafshecha. Afilu no telas neshmascha, even if it means that they will take your life away. Amarti masayavu liyadi v'akayimenu. When will I have the opportunity to be mekayim this pasuk of even if it means giving away your life? V'achshav shebaliyadi lo akayimenu. And now that I have the opportunity to say Kriyas Shema while their mom is killing me for being a yid and studying Torah, I won't be mekayim this pasuk. Hayamayich be'echad ad shiyatzis anishmasu be'echad. And then he was ma'arich an echad until his soul went out on the word echad, which is very interesting because we learned in the first parak, right, that kol amarich be'echad marichin lo yom v'shnosav or something like that, right? I think that's what we said. And here he was mamish marich be'echad as they were killing him. Yatzis sabasko v'amra, and then a voice came out from heaven, or maybe what it means is marichin lo yom v'shnosav in olam haba, maybe. I don't know, but then a voice came out of heaven and said, Ashrecha Rabbi Akiva shiyatzis nishmascha be'echad. Fortunate are you, Rabbi Akiva, that your soul left your body be'echad, on the word echad, or in one. Then the angel said before God, this is Torah, and this is reward for Torah, to be killed by Romans who are combing your flesh off with iron combs. This is seriously the reward for studying Torah. Mimsim yadcha Hashem, mimsim v'gomer. Right? David HaMelech says in Tehillim, he says, right, that mimsim yadcha Hashem, right, mimsim mecheled, right, David HaMelech says, I want to be those who die from your hand, not from the hands of the Romans or anybody else, right? I want to be somebody who dies from old age, chelkam b'chayim, who have a place in the world to come, utzvunchat malevitnam, and your hidden things will fill their stomachs, yisbu banim v'nichu yisum l'olem, will have lots of children and be able to leave a geshmak inheritance. So the angel said to God, what about the pasuk of dying of old age, right? So God answered to the angels from a different part of the pasuk, which is chelkam b'chayim. Yeah, but their place is in the world to come. And that is Rabbi Akiva. Yatzta Baskol, a voice came out from heavens, Va'amra, and said, Ashrecha Rabbi Akiva, fortunate are you, Rabbi Akiva, praiseworthy are you, Rabbi Akiva, happy are you, Rabbi Akiva, Sha'ata Muzman, Mizuman l'chai olam haba, that you are prepared, you are invited for life of the world to come. The Mishnah says, Lo yakal adam es rosho k'neged shar amizrach, shu mechuvin k'neged beis kodshei kodashim v'chulei, right? The Mishnah says that a person should not be lightheaded opposite the eastern entrance to the Temple Mount, because all the gates there are one in front of the other until you get into the Kodesh HaKodashim. So basically you're going to be lightheaded, Keneged the Kodesh HaKodashim. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, Zakto Rav Yehuda in the name of Rav, Lo amru ela min atzofim v'lifnim. That this not being lightheaded is only from where you can see the Beis Hamikdash from there and inwards, not further than that. Uveroe, and you actually have to be seeing the Beis Hamikdash. Whereas if you're in like a low place, like a valley or something, and you can't actually see the Beis Hamikdash, so then this lightheaded thing wouldn't apply. Itmar Nami was also stated, Amar Rabbi Abba de Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Hachi Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Lo Amru ela min atzofim v'lifnim uveroe. That it has to be from, closer than Tzofim and where you actually see the Beis Hamikdash. Uv'she'ein geder, and as long as there's no fence between you and the Temple Mount. Uv'zman she'ashchina shora, and it has to be a time when the Shechina is shora, when the Shechina is there, and Rashi says that is as long as there is she'beis hamikdash kayam, that there is a Beis Hamikdash. But nowadays where there's no Beis Hamikdash, so then this wouldn't apply. Taner Rabban anifna b'Yehuda liifne mizrach u'mayrav el tzafon v'darim. Somebody who is defecating in the area of Yehuda in Eretz Yisrael, so he shouldn't be facing east-west, rather should be facing north-south, because east-west would be sort of on the same line as the Beis Hamikdash, but north-south would not. Uvigalil, and now if you're in the north of Israel, so then you should dafka go east-west and not north-south, because you don't want to be facing the Beis Hamikdash when you're going to the bathroom. You should go to the bathroom east-west. Rabbi Yossi Matir, whereas Rabbi Yossi would say, no, in the Galil it's okay, or even just anywhere where you can't see the Beis Hamikdash, it would be okay to go to the bathroom in any direction you'd like. Rabbi Yossi Omer lo asu ela beroeh, because Rabbi Yossi said, look, they only said that it would be also to go to the bathroom facing the Beis Hamikdash, or in the direction of the Beis Hamikdash, if you can actually see the Beis Hamikdash with Mokum Shein Shem Gader, and as long as there is no fence over there. And it has to be as long as there's a Beis Hamikdash. For Chacham Osim, the Chacham say it is asur. So Chacham Manu Tanakama. So isn't Chacham saying the same thing as the Tanakama? Ikebenayut Stadin, right? So the Tanakama says that you can't, let's say in Yehuda, go to the bathroom east-west because it's facing the Beis Hamikdash, and the Chacham seem to be saying the same thing. So the Nafkamina is Bitstadin. Like what if you're like, let's say in Yehuda and you're going to the bathroom and you're facing east-west, but technically, let's say, the Beis Hamikdash would be a little bit more north, so you wouldn't technically mamish be on the same line, even though you're in the same general direction of the Beis Hamikdash, but if you actually would draw a line in the direction that you're facing, it would miss the Beis Hamikdash, so then that would be okay according to the Chachamim. It would not be okay according to the Tanakama, who says anywhere in Yehuda you wouldn't be able to go east-west, or I guess anywhere in the Galil, north-south. Tani will learn a brisa. Tani Yidach will learn another brisa. Hanifne b'Yehuda lo yifne mizrach u'ma'ariv. Anybody who defecates in Yehuda should not defecate east-west. El tzafon v'darim, north and south. V'galil tzafon v'darim, also mizrach u'ma'ariv mutar. And in the Galil, in the north, then you don't go to the bathroom north-south, just east-west. Rabbi Yossi Matir, Rabbi Yossi would say, no, you can go, north-south, east-west, whatever. Shai Rabbi Yossi Omer lo asu ela beroeh, because Rabbi Yossi said that it's only asur if you could see the Beis Hamikdash. As long as you can't see the Beis Hamikdash, so then you can go to the bathroom in any direction you'd like. Rabbi Yehuda Omer bisman Beis Hamikdash kaim asur bisman she'ein Beis Hamikdash kaim mutar. Rabbi Yehuda says that this whole thing about being, the direction they go to the bathroom in is only when the Beis Hamikdash is built. But if the Beis Hamikdash isn't built, then you don't have to worry about this at all. Rabbi Kiva oser b'chol makom. Rabbi Kiva says that it is asur wherever you are. Rabbi Kiva and Tanakama. Well, isn't Rabbi Kiva saying the same as Tanakama? Right? Tanakama basically says, in Yehuda, you don't go to the bathroom east-west. In the Galil, you don't go to the bathroom north-south. Rabbi Kiva is saying what? B'chol makom, meaning this applies everywhere. So what is this? So Ikebenai chutz la'aretz. No, the nafkamin is chutz la'aretz, right? Rabbi Kiva would say b'chol makom, meaning even in chutz la'aretz, if you're in New York, then you shouldn't be going to the bathroom east-west because, Israel is to the east, right? So it's wherever you are. Fine. Ike benayel chutz la'aretz. Rabba havushadyon le livnei mizrach u'marav. So Rabba, basically, they would set up a bathroom for him, stones for these bricks that they would build the bathroom out of in the east and the west. Basically, they would put some bricks on the east, some bricks on the west. Then he would go to the bathroom in the middle, facing north-south, because Bavel was to the east of Israel. So they wanted to make sure he was going north-south as opposed to east-west, because then he would be going to the bathroom towards Israel. So also Abai Shadinu at Safon Vidarim. Now Abai wanted to see if this was just a coincidence that his bathroom had him facing north-south, or was it on purpose because he held like Rabbi Akiva that even in Chutz La'aretz this applies? So Abai went Shadanu Tzafim V'darom, and he switched the bricks of the bathroom to be north-south, so that he would be going to the bathroom east-west, and he wanted to see how Rabbah would react, how his teacher Rabbah would react, to see if he specifically wanted to avoid going east-west like Rabbi Akiva. Al Rabbah Taratzinu. Rabbah then went to the bathroom and he fixed the stones so that they would be east-west, so he'd be going to the bathroom north-south. Amrman Hai de Kamatzarli. He said, who's causing me this annoyance, this inconvenience to have to switch around the stones of the bathroom? The bricks of the bathroom. Rabbi Akiva Svirli Damar B'chol Makom Asur. I hold like Rabbi Akiva that every place where there are wherever you are, even in Chutz La'aretz, you shouldn't be facing east-west. You shouldn't be facing the Beis Hamikdash. So I guess Abai learned that Rabbah holds like Rabbi Akiva. Cool. Lots of interesting stuff today. All about Adam HaRishon and the creation of Adam HaRishon and Chava. Also about the Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara, and Rabbah, who says that he is a Beinoni, the story of Rabbi Akiva, Afilu Notos Nafshecha. Lots of very, very interesting stuff here. Hope you guys have a sweet, sweet, sweet day. Bye.